Speaking of getting a little slow in terms of the start, we saw that last night from Rodgers and the offense. Why do you think that was?
I give the Giants credit, to be honest with you. I don't think those receivers were getting any separation at all. The Packer receivers were getting any separation at all last night. And the Giants, they came in with a good game plan of how they wanted to contain Rodgers. Rodgers in the last few weeks, and you've seen all the highlight plays, guys, or watched the games live, his ability to move around has been as back-breaking as anything else to opposing defenses. He stays in the pocket, he dances around, then he makes something happen. He wasn't able to do that early on. They were kind of pinning him in. They had 4 sacks in the first half. Aaron Rodgers was not really able to spring loose until that play very late in the second quarter, where I think it was an 8-10-second play, something like that, before he threw the touchdown pass to Devontae Adams. That seemed to lift the lid for the Packers. Until then, I would give the Giants defense lots of credit.
Aaron Rodgers is really an interesting quarterback for me because this season it was bizarre to see him go from 4-6, and they were talking about whether he was elite, talking about the detrimental relationship between him and his head coach, him and his family even. I mean, the national media was all over it. Then he says 3 words, run the table, and they absolutely do just that. What does it say about his leadership style and how this team has really bought in?
He's always been a very driven guy. When he gets something in his mind, you're not going to shake him on it. Whether it was, how he didn't get many offers coming out of high school, how he went to junior college, how he fell through the draft. It's always been something that's really he's been able to channel in a positive direction. And knowing that about him, you really don't doubt him. Just the same, I was 2 feet in front of him, 18 inches in front of him when he said at that point earlier in the season, I think we can run the table, and I'll admit, I thought to myself, well, that's just lip service. That's a great thing to say, but come on. And then he goes out and leads through example and through his deed, not just what he said. So the Packers clearly have responded to him. They have some other leadership-type guys in the locker room, but there's no question that Aaron Rodgers is front and center. And when you do what he's doing, throwing touchdown passes, and the key, guys, is not giving the ball away, you can win football games. Keep in mind, during this winning streak, they had to hang on against a couple of lesser opponents. They beat the Bears at the tail end. They had to hang on against the Lions. There were definitely games where it could have gone either way, and the Packers, most notably Rodgers, did not make the critical mistake and give the other team the ball. If you don't beat yourself in the NFL, you have a chance to win. And Rodgers has been the biggest reason why the Packers have gotten on this roll with all that he's doing behind